Alrighty, good morning, everyone. Mic check, mic check. Good morning. What's up, everyone? Hope you guys are doing well. Today is Monday, September the 29th. Almost the end of the month coming up here, end of Q3 here as well. Hope you guys are doing well. Had a great weekend. How'd you guys enjoy the event so far? I know we had some hiccups yesterday on day number one, but day number one was really good. We have a lot of things planned coming up for day number two. And of course, we have live trading on day number three as well. What's up, everyone? Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. As for this week, you can see the overall markets, a little bit of a gap up here. We'll talk about kind of the levels we're looking for coming into today for potential kind of pullback long. We'll take a look at some of the levels that we're looking at here on the major indices and some of the tech names. And of course, we're going to go over some of the red folder news events that we have this week. Basically, I have a decent amount of red folder news events besides Monday, so we'll take a look at that. Yeah, what's up, everyone? Hope you guys are doing well. Good morning. What's up, Todd? Good morning, Norwing, Candy, Tope, Robert, Darth, Hartik, Vic, Willie. What's good, Alex? Osman, Johnny, Nate, Eric, Jayden, Big, T. I am Jeff, Sugar. Good morning, Johnny, Michael, Victor, Big, Co, Robert, Sven. Yeah, hope you guys are doing well. Let's head on to the weekly outlook and see what we're looking at coming into this week. Before we do that, if you guys are enjoying these, appreciate if you guys drop a like. Also, if you guys haven't joined the watch list for the daily, if you guys haven't joined the daily watch list, that's in the description. Of course, if you guys haven't signed up for the event, we just started day one yesterday. If you guys haven't signed up for day two, same link in the description yesterday. Hold up. Yeah, same link in the description as for day two. You guys should be getting the recording this morning here as well. If you guys did miss that, check your emails this morning. And then for day two, that's going to start at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. That one's going to be a really good one. Today is going to be packed full of value. So make sure if you haven't signed up, that's going to be the first link in the description. Okay, let's head on to the weekly outlook quickly, and then we'll go over exactly what we're looking at coming into today. So just quickly looking over the key economic events for this week. As I mentioned, we have a decent amount of red folder news coming into this week besides Monday. So today basically is the only day we don't have any red folder news. We do have pending home sales. It's going to be at 10 a.m. But really, the rest of the week, we have a decent amount of red folder news. So tomorrow we have JOLTS opening plus consumer confidence. That is going to be at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As for Wednesday, that is going to be ADP non-farm enrollment at 8:15. And then, of course, we do have ISM manufacturing. That is going to be at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's what we have for Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday, unemployment at 8:30. And then on Friday, we have some more ADP non-farm enrollment. That is going to be at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, along with the unemployment rate. And then we do have ISM services. That's going to be at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So decent amount of red folder news coming to this week. Of course, not the major ones like FOMC, CPI, or PPI, but this is something to keep in mind if we are looking at the major indices. So we do have a decent amount of red folder news. As for earnings, basically earnings season's over. We had some earnings last week that were nice, but basically the only thing this week is going to be Nike, just to keep that in mind. So let's first start off on the major indices. And then let's go on to some of the things that we're looking at coming into today. So first things first, you can see we kind of talked about this in the weekly outlook very briefly, but overall higher time frames, key levels here for the ES, where it kind of came down right in towards our key levels last week, 66.20. On Friday, we saw a bounce here, reclaiming key levels. Now for the overall markets, we're pushing back towards the upside here in the pre-market. What we now like to see here for the overall indices, specifically for the ES in itself, is really the bounce off of the area that we broke down from, which in this case is your 67.20 here. So I'm going to have this level marked out. This is going to be the first area we're going to be looking for a potential bounce play back up in towards our all-time highs, which is our 67.20. Another possible scenario is if we dig all the way back down in towards, now it's going to be that previous day highs, that Friday's highs, 60, basically your 6,700 for a potential pushback towards the upside. So this is what we have for the ES coming to market open. We're going to be looking for primarily, right, bigger dips for long positions back towards the upside. As for the ES and the SPY, this one has now room back up and towards your all-time high. So we'll keep an eye out on these levels coming to today here for the ES 6720. 6720 along with their 6700. So this is what we have for the ES. We can actually just mark out these levels now coming to market open. As for the SPY chart, the levels that we have marked out, we do have this pretty big wick here. This is just from 4 a.m. But basically the key levels that we have marked out for the SPY chart now is going to be your previous all-time highs. We can just mark this out. Let me mark this. So this is going to be our our 6670. This is the level. We also have our 664, and then we also have your previous day highs all the way back down at this 662. So looking at this here on the 15-minute time frame here for the SPY, you can see we're gapping up over the weekend. We're gapping up above key levels here now, which is our 664. What we like to see here for the SPY is really one of two scenarios. If we want to see that potential push up and towards our all-time highs right off the bat, we really like to see a hold of this 664 for this continuation up and towards this 667. If we potentially break back underneath our pre-market lows, the next key level support is going to be all the way back down in towards that Friday's highs, which is that 662. So we'll keep an eye out on the potential 664.50 retest right off the bat. If you can hold above that, we'll be looking for a push back up in towards your pre-market highs and above. If we end up pulling all the way back down in towards that previous day highs, then we're going to be looking for the higher low off of your previous day highs for continuation back towards the upside. So these are the key levels that we have marked out for the SPY coming to market open, right? Could you be looking for the potential short underneath your pre-market lows? You could, but overall the market's fairly bullish here. I think this short's going to be a little bit more trickier, but this is going to be your key level 664 coming into today here for the SPY. As for the QQQ, let's go into this one. As you can see here on the higher time frames, the key levels that we have marked out for the NQ is just going to be these old highs and lows. So the key levels that we have marked out is your 24,800, and then we also have another level that we have marked out here, which is your 24,900. So coming to market open here for the NQ, what I like to see now is going to be the reclaim back above your 24,900 or the potential dip all the way back down in towards our key level, which is our 24,800. So for the NQ coming to market open, we like to see that break above, hold above your 24,900 for this continued push towards the upside, or scenario number 2, this pullback long off of now, it's going to be this 24,800 for this higher low, continue push back towards the upside. I personally like to see the pullback long, right? If we push right off the bat, I think it's going to make it for a little bit of a trickier morning session, but if you can get that pullback long down into key levels of support, we can be looking for the higher low continuation back towards the upside. So this is what I have for the NQ, basically our 24,800. And then for the break above, now it's going to be break above our pre-market highs, key level above, which is going to be this 24,900. So that's what I have for the NQ. And then for the QQQ, as you can see here, fairly similar thing. Key levels that I have marked out is our 600 key psych. And we also have our previous day highs and our higher time frame key level here. So for the QQQ coming into market open, what I like to see is one of two things: either the break above your 600 key psych, maintain above that for continuation higher. Next levels above is going to be your all-time high 603, or if price comes all the way back down, as I mentioned, this would be your pullback long spot off of your 597 for potential continuation higher. So two scenarios today, right? Either the break above 600 key psych, higher time frame key level for a continuation higher, or now it's going to be that pullback long all the way back down and towards that 597 for continuation towards the upside, right? If we're looking for a potential kind of a mean reversion, right, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not as interested, but key levels would kind of be your pre-market low for potential move back down in towards that previous day highs. But I'd much rather wait for that pullback. long off of your previous day highs, higher low for that continued push back towards the 600 and above. So that's what I have for the major indices coming into today. Now let me go over some tech names that we have. We got some water here as well. What's up, everyone? Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. Yes, enjoyed the live event. Can't wait for the next one. Yeah, we still have day number 2, as I mentioned. It's going to start at 12 p.m. Make sure to check your emails and also check Instagram as well, just for the link. Since we did have some issues yesterday, we should be good now, but make sure to check out your emails for the link for day number 2. Okay, let me go on to some tech names that we have coming into today. So first things first, what we have is Tesla. You can see this one on the higher time frame, still very bullish, and this one's looking like it's going to push up and towards our all-time high. So as you can see here, really solid base, push towards the upside. We've been building up higher lows here on Tesla. The next logical level above our 440 is going to be our 450, 470, and all the way back up and towards our all-time high. So if we're looking at this on Tesla, you can see on Friday, buyers really stepped in off of our key levels, which was our 416. We also reclaimed back above our 430 here as well. So for Tesla coming into today, you can see it's coming back up and towards our key level of resistance, which is just basically last week's key levels. Last week's highs. So that's going to be our main key level coming to market open, which is our 445. So this is our key level coming to market open. What we like to see is really one of two things. Either the break above our 445 hold for continuation higher, or now it's going to be really the retest off of our previous day highs for potential continuation back towards the upside. So if you kind of zoom in here for Tesla, right, higher lows are still very much being built. This one showed some strength here on Friday. Now we're gapping up. Key level of resistance, as I mentioned, that we do have is now going to be this 445, which is basically your last week's key pivot high. So we can mark out two things here on Tesla, right? Break above your 445, continuation right off the bat. Another scenario is a potential pullback down in towards your previous day highs for continuation back towards upside here as well. So two scenarios that we're going to be looking for on Tesla. They're both good, right? I personally like to see maybe that immediate dip down in towards your previous day highs for a push higher. The push right off the bat, hold above your 445 for continuation higher is also in play. We do have to keep in mind that we are at a key level of resistance, so we very much well could potentially reject off of this area right off the bat. So that's something we have to keep in mind, right? I really want to see the break above 445 hold, but if we break above, right, do not show any sort of buyers whatsoever, right, we could reject and we could come all the way back down in towards that previous day close. So this is a very possible scenario that could play out. So we'll keep that in mind here on Tesla coming to today. But this is going to be one of my main watches, right? Higher time frame, still bullish. I personally like to see the break above that 445 for that continuation up and towards 450 and above here. So Tesla is going to be my main watch coming into today for a push towards the upside. As for a few other tickers that we have, let's go on to NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, this one's still been consolidating. Last week, we had some news, kind of rejected off of your all-time highs. Now we're just kind of consolidating. So for NVIDIA, the key levels that I have marked out is really this 178. So this 178, 179 key pivot level, as you can see, we're just basically sitting in equilibrium. So that's basically the middle of the range. For NVIDIA, if I do want to see some upside now, it's primarily going to be the break above your previous kind of key pivot high, which is at 180. I like to see one of two things. I'm actually just going to readjust this level here as well. Let me just do this real quick. So I'll readjust this into its previous day highs. And then I'll also have your Wednesday's highs along with your Thursday's highs marked out. So for NVIDIA coming to market open, if you do want to see some upside here, it's either going to be the break above 180 for continuation towards the upside. Another possible scenario is going to be the dip down in towards your previous day highs, 178 for this continued pushback towards the upside here as well. So keep an eye out on 180 along with your 180 along with your 178.50. That's what we have on NVIDIA. As for AMD, key levels that we have marked out, similar thing to NVIDIA is going to be this 162 along with this 155. We do have just a lot more consolidation. We tried breaking out last week, was unable to break above that 163, and now we're just kind of right back inside of this range. So for AMD, if you do want to see upside, really now it's going to be the break above your 163 and a hold above that level for continuation. Besides that, we're going to be stuck inside this range. So we want to be a little bit more cautious. So that's something to keep in mind here on AMD. As for the key levels coming into today, it's still going to be this 163. And then to the downside, really your previous day lows along with this 155 here. So that's what we have for AMD. As for some other tickers that we have, let's take a look at Apple here. So Apple forming this flat top. We actually had some news on Apple on Friday. That's why Apple showing a little bit of weakness here in the pre-market, along with kind of Friday's price action here as well. This one's still intact here on the higher time frames, but we had some news. You can see now we're forming this essentially triple top here. So for Apple, key levels that we have marked out really is this 253. This is your higher low key pivot level. I personally like to see Apple maintain above your 253.50 for continuation higher. And really now the setup is going to be the break above your 257 for a potential push up and towards your all-time highs. But for this one, we'd like to see higher lows be maintained for this potential continued push higher. So key levels that we have marked out, essentially your previous day highs, and then we also have your previous day lows, 253.70 here on Apple. As for a few other tickers that we have marked out, quickly go over them. Google, key level that we have is your 248. You can see once we reclaim back above your 248, nice kind of continue pushback towards upside. We just like to see maintain back above your 248 if we want to see any sort of continue push higher. As for Amazon, this one trying to reclaim back above key lows. So for Amazon, key level that we have marked out 221. Potential kind of flip here if we can maintain back above that 221. If we get back underneath, we're still bearish, and you could be looking for continuations down and towards that 216, which is this week's lows. So that's what we have for Amazon coming to market open, and then Meta and really the rest of the tickers. Not too much to talk about. The main thing here is going to be your major indices, SPY and Qs, then of course Tesla as well. So Netflix and then Microsoft, yeah, these ones really not doing as much, just kind of consolidating in between either its daily range, as you can see here on Microsoft or Netflix, even Meta here as well. So not too much to talk about. We'll go over some other names here in a second on at least the growth names. So we'll take a look at those ones. And then we'll take a look at some of these setups here as well. So let me grab some water here. If you guys do have any charts or any tickers you'd like me to go over, you guys can now drop them in the chat. What's up, everyone? Hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, if you guys have any tickers or you have any charts you'd like me to go over, I'll go over them for the next probably 10 to 15 minutes. If you guys are enjoying this so far, I appreciate if you guys drop a like. If you guys haven't joined the daily watch list, of course, that's in the description. And if you guys haven't joined the waitlist for the event, today is day number 2, so that's going to start off at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys should be receiving emails fairly shortly here for the recording for day number 1, and of course, the link for day number 2. All right, what's up, everyone? Hope you guys are doing well. Let me go over some of these names. Let's first go over Palantir. So key levels for Palantir, you can see higher time frames. We end up having a little bit of rejection off of our higher time frame key level, which was our 184. So this was our last week's key pivot level. And you can see we ended up coming into this area, a little bit of rejection, and now we're just kind of back inside of this range. So here, if you look at this on the daily chart, this one looks fairly bullish in my opinion. You can see higher lows are being built here on the daily chart. Down close candles is really going to be this 172. And then if we can now break back above, it's going to be this 184. The next level is going to be your all-time highs, 189. So for Palantir on the daily chart, As long as we maintain above this higher low key pivot point, which is your 172, we can expect continuation back towards the upside. Right, next levels above 184 is going to be this 189. So on Palantir, daily charts intact. For the 1 hour chart, we're consolidating a little bit more here just based off of last week's price action. Right, other levels that we're going to have marked out as well is just going to be your previous day highs. So we can have this marked out. Let's just mark this out. We can mark out our previous day highs. We can also mark out this level, which we have multiple touches off of, 177. So for Palantir, really, if we want to see some upside, preferably above, now it's going to be our previous day highs, 180, where of course the best level is going to be your 184 on the higher time frame since we have multiple touches. But we'll keep an eye out. We'll set alerts here for Palantir. It's going to be the break above your 184. That's going to be the key level for me. And then we can also now mark out your previous day highs, 180 for a potential break above that for continuation, potentially up towards that 184. So that's what we have for Palantir coming into market open. As for a few other tickers here, what we have is Oracle. So Oracle, this one, we talked about this one kind of last week, showing a little bit of weakness. We're now inside of this daily gap here on the higher time frames as well. So we had this nice gap up due to earnings. You can see we have multiple touches here. We actually are breaking back inside this gap with a weak candle closure here on the daily chart. So if we now go back onto the 1 hour time frame, what we like to see now is really the reaction that we have off of your previous day lows along with your 292. So these are the levels here for Oracle. If you want to maintain weakness, we like to see it hold underneath this 292, which is your previous level of support. We'd really like to see this level now turn into potential resistance for a continuation lower. Another possible scenario that we have here is now going to be the break underneath your previous day lows. If you break underneath your previous day lows, we could be looking for the retest, also continuation lower towards the downside here on Oracle. The only way I'm going to flip back bullish is if you can reclaim back above that 292. If you show some strong price action right off the bat, reclaim back above this level, we could see a potential mean reversion. So something to keep in mind here, at least on the 1 hour chart for Oracle. Other levels, as I mentioned, previous day lows we can have marked out, which is going to be your 284 coming into market open. As for a few other tickers, we have open here. Key levels that we have marked out, you can see starting to reclaim back above your 882, really bouncing a very key level, key level of support, which is our 7 key psych level. Now what we like to see is really the reclaim back above our 881. If we can do that, we can see a potential move back up and towards your 850 here. So that's what we have for open coming to market open. That's whenever I say that, it's always so funny. But for open key levels, it's going to be your 881 downtrend here as well. If we can break now above, we can see a potential move back towards the upside above your 920 here. So that's what we have for this ticker. As for a few other ones, let's go on to AVGO. So AVGO kind of bouncing off our key level support here, which is our 332. So you can see this is basically when we gapped up with earnings, right? Markets are trying to defend this key level here, which is our 332. Now what we like to see is really the break of structure back towards the upside on AVGO if we want to see any sort of push higher. So key levels that we have marked out, 338. If you can now break back above your 338, this is going to look good for a potential continuation higher. If we end up rejecting off this level, right, our lower highs are technically still being built, and we could see a push back down in towards that previous day close. So key level coming to market open, 338 that we're going to have marked out here on AVGO. As for Intel, this one, we had some bullish news last week that was pushing this towards the upside. Plus, we had a daily time frame breakout here as well. So the key levels that we have for Intel coming into today is going to be our Thursday's highs, 3440. And we also have this key level from yesterday, from Friday, which is your 3520. So for Intel, two scenarios: break above your 3520, reclaim, look for that reclaim back towards the upside. Another possible scenario, kind of bounce off of your previous day lows along with your Thursday's highs for a potential move back towards the upside here as well, which is a key level support, basically your 3440s here on the higher time frame. So that's what we have for Intel coming to market open. Let me go on to a few other names here as well. As for HIMS, this one's looking good for a continued push higher. Key levels that we have marked out now is your 59 key psych level. some strong buyers that stepped in here on Thursday and Friday. Now you can see we're above our last week's highs here in the pre-market. So this is the exact level we like to see maintain if we want to see a continuation higher now. So for HIMS, we like to see really it's going to be that hold above your 58.50s for this continued pushback towards upside. So keep an eye out on this level, basically our last week's highs for continuation. If we look at this on the daily chart, this one's looking good, right? Higher lows are now being built. If you can break above your last week's highs, really next level is all the way back up and towards our 62 and above here. So keep that in mind if you're trading HIMS coming into today. Let's go into a few other tickers here as well. Let me go into a few other names, and then I'm going to get ready for market open, and I have to get ready for the event here as well. Let's go into a few other tickers. OKLO, this one on the higher time frames finally had a little bit of a pullback, but it's coming right back into key areas. If we're looking at this on here on the daily time frame, you can see really solid push towards the upside, basically a 50% retracement here on OKLO. Now, if we can break back above key levels, we do have this daily gap back towards the upside. So for OKLO, key levels that we're going to have marked out is going to be this 122. So 122, and your key level of support here is your 110. So for OKLO, if you can break back above your 122, maintain above this 122, next level is going to be our previous kind of close in this gap fill that we've created back up and towards our 130. So far, if we continue to show weakness, right, which means, right, lower highs are being built, right, our previous day highs is defended, we could see another potential retest of that 110 here on the higher time frames, which is just going to be that lower high. So if we can't break above our previous day highs and can't break above that 122, right, OKLO could very much well pop and fade and come all the way back down in towards this 110 here on the higher time frame. So this is what we have for OKLO coming into market open. As for a few other tickers, let's quickly go over SoFi and Hood. Right, for this one, key levels that we have marked out 2840s. Right, key levels is going to be that reclaim back above your 2840s previous all-time highs for continuation back towards the upside. As for Hood, key levels that we have marked out now is going to be your 125 along with this 122 here on the higher time frames. What we like to see is really the break above your previous day highs for continuation so far, but to open up inside the middle of the range. So I'd be a little bit more cautious here for Hood. And then for some downside, key level is going to be this 120. If we break underneath, potentially we can see some more downside here. So key level, previous day highs and previous day lows, nice and easy here for Hood coming to market open. Key level, I'd like to see that reclaim above that 125. As for a few other tickers that we have marked out here, let's go over UNH real quick. Key level, you can see we tried breaking above key levels last week, but ultimately now we're pushing back towards the downside, back inside of this range. So based off of this daily chart here, higher lows are still being built, right? Basically building up some nice consolidation here on the daily chart. Now what we like to see is really a big move to either side, right? If we can break above, break back above the key levels from last week, we can see a nice push towards the upside here on UNH. We're basically building up liquidity at both sides here. Key levels 352, and then towards the downside what I have is this 344. So if we break underneath, potential continuation down in towards your 340s. If we can now break above this 352, we can see this nice continued push up and towards your 360 and above. So that's what I have for UNH coming into today, and some other tickers also 830 here as well. Okay. Let me go over my game plan once more, and then I'm going to get ready for market open here. The main thing that we do have today is that event that we have. And then, of course, on day 3, that one's going to be nice as well since we do have live trading. So make sure to sign up for that. If you guys have been asking for a while now, live trading. So we're going to be doing that tomorrow. We're going to start that up right off the bat. I think we're going to have pre-market prep for that one as well. So I'm not sure if we're going to host that on this channel, at least for the pre-market, or we're just going to do that on the second channel. So make sure you sign up in the description for that for day 2, of course, today, and then tomorrow for live trading in the morning. All right. Let me go over the quickly just my game plan once more, and then I'm going to get ready for market open here. So key levels that we have coming into today, as I mentioned, for the SPY, it's going to be the 664. That's going to be the key level coming to market open. If we can maintain above this, we can see this potential push towards your all-time highs break underneath, there is potential that we could see your pre-market low retest for a push back down in towards your previous day highs. So this is also a possible scenario here as well. And of course, if we do break underneath that pre-market lows, I'd like to see kind of buyers step in off of our previous day high. So that's what we have for SPY coming to market open, which is going to be that 662. As for the QQQ key levels that we have marked out, Qs, I would consider similar thing here with SPY, both fairly bullish, but key level that we have 600 key psych. If we can break above this, we can see continuation higher. If we break underneath our pre-market highs, really next level for a potential pullback long is going to be off this 597. So that's what we have for the QQQ and SPY coming to market open. For the NQ, key level is going to be this 24,900. And then for the SPY, sorry, for the ES key levels that we have marked out is our 6720. As for my main watches coming to market open today, Tesla key levels that we have drawn out is going to be this really this 444, last week's key pivot high, either the break above continuation, now it's going to be the hold above your previous day highs for this continued push towards the upside. So this is going to be my main watch coming into market open here. It's going to be the break above on Tesla, basically Tesla continuation towards the upside. As for my other watches that I'm keeping an eye out on, Nvidia potentially you can see some more upside here above your 180. So if you can break above 180, hold above that, we can see some nice continuation towards the upside. And then for the other tickers, really nothing else going on that I like a lot. Apple still looks good here on the higher time frames, but this is going to have to maintain higher lows if we want to see a push above your 270, 257 in your all-time highs. And then the rest of the ticker is basically inside of a range. So primarily going to be focusing in on Tesla along with Nvidia coming into market open. As for a few other tickers that I do like on this side, Palantir, if you can get above your 180 and hold above that key level. And then I'd like to keep an eye out on Oracle, the reaction that we have off of your 292. And then for a few other tickers that I do like, OKLO, if you can break back above that 122, SoFi key level is going to be that 2840, which is your previous all-time highs. And of course for Hood, key level that we're going to have marked out is your 125. So that is what I have for today. A little bit of a shorter pre-market prep. I'm going to get ready for market open here now and get ready for the event later into today here as well. So yeah, a little bit of a shorter pre-market prep. But that is going to be it for me today. If you guys did enjoy that, appreciate if you guys drop a like and sub. If you guys haven't joined the watch list, of course, that is in the description below. And if you guys haven't joined the wait list for the event, it's going to be day number 2. It's going to start at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. Day number 2, it's going to be packed full of information. I'm going to come on and talk about some stuff as well. So make sure if you haven't signed up for that, that one's in the description. And of course, we will be live trading tomorrow as well. That's going to start at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, I'm gonna get ready for market open here, and I will see you guys all later today for day number 2 of the event that we do have. All right, take care, everyone. Have a great rest of the day. Peace.